Bat Force Radio.
Hey guys, Dustin Wynn.
Hey, this is Scott Snyder.
This is Paul Dini.
And you're listening to Bat Force Radio.
And you're listening to Bat Force Radio.
You're listening to Bat Force Radio.
This is Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, and you're listening to Bat Force Radio, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to Bat Force Radio, the Batman / DC podcast with no limits. We got the squad tonight. Got Grandpa Batman over in Texas.
Howdy.
Howdy. Got TZ over in Jersey.
Yo.
I'm Bat Force Times over in New York. Tonight we are reviewing the Batman Second Night, complete hardcover issues 1 through 3. Written by Dan Jurgens, art by Mike Perkins, colored by Mike Spicer, and letters by Simon Bowland. But before we get into that, Gramps wants to go over the daily do.
well, I think we need to give some due. There was a very exciting basketball series between the New York Knicks and the San Antonio shitheads. I cannot stand them. So, I was so glad to see the Knicks win. And you guys being local to the area, I mean, what was it like up there? I mean,
chaos, man. You know what? The energy was good though. New York City, all throughout the boroughs, everyone had their Knicks apparel on. Everyone was just on the same wavelength. Everyone was happy, excited. Really, it was stressful. The games were stressful.
They were.
But there was a really rare, positive, communal energy in the air with New York. A lot of fans, even the bandwagoners, everyone. It was just all love. It was great. It was very good for the city, and it's very good for the Knicks because the Knicks have suffered a long time. They haven't had a championship in 53 years. I remember remember the days, we were talking about Ewing, Starks, Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley, the legendary squad. They were so good. They deserved the chip, but nobody could get past Jordan back then, man. And then, they did, what was it? The finals they played, was it the Rockets
Houston?
They played in the finals?
Houston.
Yeah. And did that go to game 7? And it came down to a finger roll. Was that a game 7? I think it was.
I remember those against Hakeem Olajuwon.
God, they showed a clip of that after the game when the Knicks were walking back to the locker room, and you see someone it looks like they threw a roll of toilet paper and it was like unraveling over Patrick Ewing. It was the 90s was not for everyone, man. A lot of people want to go. It was just so rough back then.
It was tough. I mean, those games, literally you'd have scores like 85-80, and rarely, I say rarely, you'd have some scores in the 100, but they weren't just like walking across half court and then shooting a three like nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
you had to bleed.
Yeah. That was what's so crazy about today's NBA. It's just like spread out. Even the 7'4" big man's going to shoot three.
Yeah.
It's like,
make it.
It's like watching a video game. Right? Like these guys are just shooting him from 35 feet like it's nothing.
Yeah.
NBA Jam.
Yeah, NBA legit. Yeah.
And what was great about the series was that, at one point it was 3-1, and it very easily could have been 3 games Spurs to 1 game New York. Those games were,
tight.
So close. And even, there was that one, I think it was game 4 or 5, the historic comeback when they were down by like 28. I was literally about to turn that off and go take a shower. But I was like, I kept checking back in. They kept fighting and coming back. It got to be about where they were only down by like 14, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to start paying attention to this because they're really coming back. San Antonio scored 79 in the first half of that game. They scored 24 or 25 points in the second half.
Right.
That's all.
That's momentum.
That's
shift and a half.
Insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I
that
never
was
seen
the game
anything
when
like
Wemby
it.
kept saying, "Oh, I'm in your head. I'm in your head."
Dude.
Multiple times.
Man, you got that game. Well, it was the biggest comeback in finals history.
So, my only disappointment with how this series played out is that I wish the Knicks had won it at home.
Yeah.
I wish it had been Knicks in 6, and celebrate on Madison Square Garden. That would have been the chef's kiss.
They might have burned the city down, though.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that would have been a sure bet that Midtown would be in ashes by the next morning.
Oh man,
these fans are nuts. I remember every year we would get closer and closer. We would advance one series in the playoffs in the past couple of years, and then they showed the clips outside of the fans going nuts. And it would really put it into perspective for me with Knicks fans is how there was when we beat Philly a year or two, I forgot when, and there was this guy, they do the montage videos of everybody going nuts, and there was this one guy, and he's a Knicks fan, he has this huge Philly cheesesteak in his hand, and then he's screaming like, nah, and then he just smashes it in his face after they beat Philly, and I go, yeah, Knicks fans are a different breed.
I don't even think they're like fans. They're just there to be in the moment. And
yeah, they're just agitators. They're just using this as a platform just to go fucking nuts.
There are some agitators, but I do believe they root for the Knicks. They're not just everyone really roots for the Knicks. The whole city. When I saw Eli Manning, who
Derek Jeter,
who beat Eli. I just want to see Eli Manning, who beat Gramps' GOAT, Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl. Never got past him. Eli Manning and Derek Jeter sitting next to each other on courtside was fucking awesome. That was just so cool. Like legendary baseball, legendary football, and then now legendary basketball in one thing. Like if you had Mark Messier next to him, I think that would have over that would have been
that's like the Mount Rushmore of
the Mount Rushmore of
New York City greats. But back to what Bad Force Times was saying earlier, just the energy in the city, it was uniting. It had that energy of post 9/11 where, obviously like 9/11 was a different unity, but the fact that like people came together and would give each other fist bumps as strangers in the streets, even like, ladies going to work that maybe didn't have Knicks paraphernalia on, you would see people wear like accents of blue and orange.
Mm-hmm.
And that was everyone's way of just celebrating together, So this was a New York initiative, this was a game, we won the championship, but this was something that brought the city together in a really positive way.
Yeah, there was one guy who was out. He said they interviewed him. I forgot which game it was, but they're at the bars and they're walking around. Everyone was outside, and he said, "I hugged about 80 people that night that he didn't know." Just like the energy was just wild. So yeah.
Well, as a fan of the local team, the Dallas Mavericks, you guys are welcome because we basically gave you Brunson.
Yep. They said that was one of the stupidest moves in history.
We loved him here.
Oh, you did? You did?
Yeah. And he was a guy that, he was a second round pick. Okay. And in the NBA, they only have 2 rounds. And then the NBA, half the first round guys get cut. They don't even make it. And he was a second round pick. And he was like pocket dynamite when he would come off the bench. And we loved him. We were like, man, we found, we got so lucky because I think they drafted Luka and him in the same draft.
Yeah. Yeah, they got
and we're like, wow, man, we got a duo here that can replace, whenever we had Dirk here. And
Dirk.
dude, and then they traded him, and everybody was like, "What? Why'd you do that?" They were trying to bring in Porzingis and Porzingis be the new Dirk, but that didn't work out.
Dirk. I love saying Dirk. So, he kind of wanted to stay. Brunson. He said he was talking about getting a long contract and being safe. That's what
Right.
he wanted. But NBA is really very uncertain with a lot of things. So what they did, the way they went to New York, the pay cuts, and the way it was perfect alignment. The way everything aligned was crazy. Like they had a vision and they believed in this. And now Cat's talking about taking a huge pay cut too now to keep this team together. This is these guys, they're so good together. It sounds like they want a dynasty, and that would be interesting.
You watch. I mean, the New England Patriots are a perfect example of that. Tom Brady was never the highest paid player in the NFL. He always took hometown discounts to get, players built around him. Look at what happened to the Kansas City Chiefs. They win a couple Super Bowls, and Mahomes gets this huge $200 million contract. Then they can't afford to put anybody around him.
Right.
And
they
then
don't even make the playoffs.
Kermit got greedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so congratulations to the New York Knicks. It's very exciting to see a historic franchise bring it home, especially against the hated San Antonio Spurs. I loved it. Everybody here was like, "Oh, you're not rooting for the Texas team?" Hell no. I hate the Spurs. I hate Wemby. I wish they'd break his little legs. But golly, that was like a master class in how to turn into a villain.
Exactly.
Villain in one series. Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, that guy.
Yeah, he didn't get called on any of the flagrant fouls, but you know what? In retrospect, I'm happy because if he would have got suspended for a game, they could always use that as an excuse. Oh, well, you won because he sat out a game. So I'm glad they don't even have that to work with. So
you're exactly right. You're exactly right on that.
Yes.
And then
he's kind of an asshole. Like, it's
yeah.
He's also, well, he is French, right? So
he did not do his public image any favors with his post-game interviews and whatnot. But you know what? That's all right. He can taste those salty tears.
Well, Josh Hart was like, "Bring it on back, run it back."
Dude, Josh Hart, I think he was on like every game show following the championship. I didn't watch a lot of Knicks games during the regular season. I'm going to be honest with you, and I don't know much about every player and stuff like that. But that guy, he was just like so charismatic, and
it seriously is one of the most likable teams I can remember. The roster is just good squad. Everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably not going to find another team where you have three of these starters that played with each other in college.
That's crazy.
Like that's some Cinderella story type shit that Disney will make a movie about. It's like,
and then they win a national championship there too. Yeah.
For Villanova.
Crazy. That's crazy. That's just.
You'll never witness that again. What this team has is really special, and it's coveted, and I have no doubts they'll be in contention for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so. I think they're even more laser focused now. They're. Like Brunson is just stoic. He is laser focused. This guy,
he's emotional.
Like Mikal Bridges is like, you think Jalen's done now? This guy's just getting started. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's cool the relationship he has with that actress from Law and Order. What's her name? Mariska Hargitay.
He's gonna be on the show.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Like she had like literally courtside seat tickets, and
she loves him. She loves him in OG.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that tip in.
That's insane. The only thing I could compare that to is my favorite player of all time, Larry Johnson, who did the 4-point play last minute. He got fouled and hit the three to I think that was to advance them. I don't remember, to go to the finals, but that tip was that he ain't even, there was no barbecue sauce for that tip. It was just, you know.
I think they need to, how the NBA's icon symbol is, I think, Jerry West dribbling. They
Yeah.
need to change it to OG going up for that tip. I mean,
Yeah, they need to make a children's book for that. Just that thing.
dude deserves his own statue.
That was, I like when I saw that, I couldn't move my body. I couldn't believe it. And then they showed Jerry Seinfeld, and he was courtside, and he couldn't move his body. It was like you couldn't. I was like, "Is this reality?" That was fucking insane.
And Larry David too.
That that was just absolutely insane,
Dude,
to get that.
You couldn't script it any better.
And the guy is like the most humble person on the planet. He's just
again another likable guy. I mean,
he's like, oh, it's pretty exciting. Well, he's British too, so maybe he's reserved, I suppose. So, but all I
know, I've spent 3 days watching these parade videos, man, and it was just chaos. I
was there, and I only went. I went because I had two childhood friends that were massive Knicks fans, especially during the Starks, Ewing, Mason era. And over the years, they both passed away, and I was like, man, they would have loved this. So I'm going to go to this parade. Because let me tell you, I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for them, because that was the most concentrated amount of people I ever been around in my life. I think we're talking millions. And it's like, fuck, motherfucker. They couldn't even get out of the subway station for hours. It's just fucking insane. Yo, did you see that video of the guys out on the ledge of the building?
Yes.
Did you see that is fucking nuts. They're walking along the ledge of the building to see the parade. I mean, one half-foot slip and it's game over, bro. It's crazy. Crazy.
And you saw the ladies get into a fight on the street sign.
Oh yeah.
Oh
and
yes.
The thong.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Did you guys have your thongs on during the parade?
Oh, let me tell. Oh god, there was just so many people there. It was just.
and you got there at 5 a.m. and it was starting to get crowded.
Oh, see, it's just
5 a.m.
It was just fucking stupid, man. Just like some people were flying in for this. I knew people flying in for this thing. Just
wow,
that's
it was crazy.
It was not well organized. I mean, you know what? I don't think they never had a chance anyway. It's just too many people.
There's no way they could organize that.
You know, easily they could have got overrun, because it's just the amount of people was just ridiculous.
Wow.
Well, they capped it off at what, 7:30 in the morning, right? They capped it off at
earlier. I think it was a little
7
early. I don't know. They're just that was just insane. But
it definitely would have shattered records, but the fact that they capped it, I think at 2 million, right? 2 million people.
Wu-Tang was in the fucking parade, man. And they're performing Cream.
You know what?
Holy shit.
They
saved game 4. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. When they performed at halftime.
Because you know what? When they finished their set, they're down 30, mind you. 29, and Method Man says, Nixon 5. Come on, man. So he said Nixon 5, meaning he's saying they're gonna win tonight, which is a pretty wild take, and they fucking won, man. That's crazy. And I'll say it forever. Wu-Tang saved game 4. My God.
Yep. I agree.
So,
I agree.
It's pretty historic, man. You couldn't write this shit. It was just really cool.
No, it was very cool. All right, you guys ready to get down to business?
Yes, sir.
All right. So it was funny the last time we reviewed Batman First Night. All of us were like, "Oh, this is amazing! This is great! I hope they make a sequel of that." Unbeknownst, they'd already had like 1 or 2 of these books out by the time we got the podcast review. So
We were just playing a little catch up,
Yeah.
We're
We
all
were.
guilty of it.
So we're going to talk about the sequel, Batman's Second Night.
Mm.
Basically, a love letter to the Golden Age Batman with some modern storytelling and art.
Mm. Yeah. So, yeah. So we're in the Great Depression, on the verge of World War II, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
we pick up almost immediately after the end of book one.
Mm. We open with a soup kitchen scene.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
this is fun. This is
Go.
fucked up, man. Jesus Christ. Yeah. This poor bastard. To start it off, the guy, one of the guys who runs a soup kitchen during the Great Depression in Gotham City, pretty much gets kidnapped by this hooded killer. Kind of has Bane vibes to him with that, or the Mad Monk from the Golden Age. Actually, I think that's what it might be played on.
He's kind of a mixture of, like you said, Bane, Mad Monk. I was wondering if he was supposed to be like Hooded Justice from Watchmen, because he's got that hood on, that purple hood, but he's got that rope around his neck, kind of like Hooded Justice. And I was like, there's no way they're bridging Watchmen into this. There's no way. That'd be crazy.
Oof. So he's the covering baddie.
Or he could also be a birthday boy. I don't know.
We still need a birthday boy fig.
We do
That's
need
the
a
most
birthday boy fig.
most disturbing. That has to be the most disturbing baddie in Batman's mythology. What the fuck? What does he do? Just kill people on their birthdays? What the fuck? I don't know.
Yeah.
McFarlane messed up. He should have did the birthday boy Build-A-Fig.
Build-A-Fig. Yeah, we did mention that. So this new bad, who I don't think ever has a name in this story, but
No,
he
they
pretty
call him
much
like the mass executioner, really.
yeah. So he ties this guy up in a bell, the guy that runs a soup kitchen, and then he uses him as pretty much the piece that bangs against. Oh,
well, I mean, he just ties him up inside this huge bell, and
with no real motive. Like the guy gets, he leaves the soup kitchen. The hooded guy grabs him, and the guy offers him money, and he's like, "I'm not here for the money." He's like,
yeah. What kills me is this part right here, where it says "splatch." I'm guessing that's his head splattering against the inside of the bell.
Oh yeah.
Bonging, banging, bong. So that's pretty nasty stuff.
You can see him. He's pulling the rope to ring the bell, and I mean, basically that guy's head and body are attached to the inside of the bell, and just smashes him.
Yeah, we cut over Gordon. He's on this cool old school radio station, and yeah. And he's actually talking about his World War I days. He's a veteran, and that's going to play a big part in this story, actually.
Development, yeah.
You know, it's interesting how they write this time and this timeline, because this is what, like 1939. The U.S. hasn't officially even entered into World War II, and right now the Axis powers are still just kind of aligning to set up the stage, and they're all talking about, you know, how bad World War I was, but they're so afraid of what could happen in the future over in Europe, and it really adds another element of tension to the story with the characters, because not only are they facing with what's happening in Gotham, but they're also worried about, we could be possibly in another world war.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is nasty.
They're at the point where people don't want to leave their houses, and they're so impoverished, and the economy and their morale is so low that they don't really have much to live for, right? And this is the perfect setup for the ideology of like you said, what's happening in Europe, the spreading of fear. They reference Hitler. Um,
Mhm.
there's really no hope. They have no hope. This is really what.
And so Gordon's investigating the Bell guy, um, and it's talking about. I guess they got a name on him, and it's traced back to the cat house. Then we cut over. It's a good shot. Ooh, this is where the bread and butter is, man. Look at that right
Look
there,
at that.
boy. Look at that badass motherfucker right there. I
Love
tell you,
how he draws Batman.
yeah, so many shots of this modern golden age Batman, just really sweet. Look at the details. You got the right here. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Batman's still in the game. We cut over. Sorry, I just gotta appreciate these. It's just so good, man. I love me some Golden Age. We cut over to Maxie and his cat house, right? Because apparently was the guy that was running the soup kitchen going to this brothel, or what did they? What was it going? What leads them back to?
I think Batman was just in there interrogating to see if there was some kind of connection with him, and he just happened to know him.
Yeah.
Because really, I think he just knows him from the neighborhood, and he just knows that he contributed to the community, but he didn't have any connection to the brothel.
Okay, that makes sense.
Or he just want to talk to this girl. I find it convenient that he just always happens to talk to the girl first before Maxie barges in.
So funny what he says over here is not about with the girl, and he goes, "Not shutting you down is payment."
Right.
Referencing the girl. But Maxie says he doesn't really know anything other than he knows a Fishman, who's the guy who got killed in the Bell, and he just saying that he knows he worked over in the soup kitchen.
I love the part where Batman tells Maxie, he's like, take the night off, and then he eventually says, take the week off, like he knows everything about her. He's like, go spend time with your daughter.
Yeah.
And then he throws money at him, and then he punches him.
Oh man, this is gonna be really nerdish, but that kind of reminds me of this Legend of the Dark Knight series. One of the short stories, and I remember there was a scene where Batman was walking one of the ladies of the night home to make sure she got there safely. So for some reason, it's kind of reminded me of that. So that's kind of funny. He looks like the Penguin right there. Kind of reminds me of the movie when Batman just shows up to the club to talk to the Penguin.
And then I thought this was great. The return of Batman's relationship with the rabbi.
The rabbi, yes.
Such a great connection from the first series, right?
Great connection that still does not make any sense to me at all. It's absolutely shoehorned in, and he goes in and he's like, pretty much, don't raise your voice when my wife's around. I'm so sorry. And
he kind of pops in unannounced, and the rabbi and his wife are, in his office late at night, and Batman scares her, and the rabbi's kind of caught in the middle. He's like, hey, he's a friend, and Batman's trying to, apologize and make her feel at peace. And then, Rabbi Cohen, he does something really cool. He kind of stands up for his wife, here. He's like, don't you ever do this again. And Batman apologizes. I mean, that's one of the few times you ever see him, take a step back and take off the facade of, the intimidation and be a human in a way.
Jesus, you think they met on J-Date?
I think they met in the classifieds, 1939. Yeah, he found him some kind of, classifieds for sure.
All right, so.
But this was a very cool full circle moment. I love how they really start kind of connecting the dots to that first series, because in the beginning of the first series, like you said, it kind of felt very random, right? Because Batman, he falls into that alleyway and the rabbi took him in and protected him, right? So this is the next chapter of their friendship.
So basically, so the executioner heads back, I guess, to his hideout where we have this character in the shadows, pretty much acknowledging his appreciation for the bloody handiwork he's been going on about in Gotham City.
And you could tell with the way that the letters are emboldened and kind of,
Yeah, that font was hard to read.
Simon Boland's painting a picture here of, this is somebody creepy that, is saying these, especially when he emphasizes the words fear and scare.
You could tell it's definitely like a muffled voice or like some kind of distortion going on. You feel the eeriness from the font.
Definitely.
Cool. Remind me of when you had in Spawn, whenever Spawn talks, the word bubbles is like it has a double outline to it. Kind of reminded me of that. Julie Madison's back in town. Was she in the first one? I don't remember.
Yeah, she was in the first one.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
They were there in Gotham to make the
funding.
movie.
Yeah.
She's trying to get
funding from Bruce.
She wanted to get for the movie, right? Yeah.
So now the movie has been made, and they're setting up the premiere in Gotham.
In Gotham, yeah.
Bruce is there to meet her at the train station.
Then we had this other character show up as well, and kind of keeping tabs on them. No, none other than Lois Lane from Metropolis. Interesting. Little foreshadow there.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise.
Was it really? You didn't see Superman on the covers?
No, I mean, I bought mine singly, and then I started reading them digitally. So
shit, yeah.
Believe.
You saved the juice. All right. Back at Wayman. So Bruce is back. Is that the statue from 66?
Oh, yeah.
You pop it up. Boing, go downstairs. Julie Madison and Bruce back in the old Batcave. No cooks, no servants, no Alfred.
Still no Alfred.
Basically, he eventually goes into how his cover would be blown if he had staff there. Then that she's the only one who knows he's... I don't like this Alfred-less world, to be honest with you. And just not... I don't know. My staircase still. Oh, this is pretty cool. This is creepy. With under the overhead where was that the radio host?
That was the radio host. Yeah.
And then the executioner grabs him, and then they cut him
basically
back and forth.
Scarecrow tells him that you've told this city about all the bad things that are happening, and you've helped increase the level of fear, but you haven't done enough yet. You can do more. And the guy's like, let me go. And they literally put him behind this flatbed truck, and Scarecrow cuts him in half. Jeez.
Shit. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, I didn't focus. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, look at that. I didn't focus that much on it the first time around, but
this was kind of giving me like Freddy Krueger vibes. Like he's trying to increase these levels of fear, and just he's popping up in these just. I found that kind of humorous, the fact that he's like driving the front of the car and he just turns around and watches this guy get cut in half. And you kind of see his facial expressions are very animated too, especially through like the coloring, but it's kind of humorous and kind of sick and twisted that, obviously he's getting off on this, and he's kind of like coaching this guy from a distance.
Oh yeah, they're both sadists in this one.
Yeah,
absolutely. They're just enjoying torture, and they're doing a good job in this book of showing these nasty creative kills without showing too much. I mean, they're very nasty kills when you really start to break it down. So, but Gordon's phoning Bruce before he goes to the premiere. I love this setting right here. Is that Gordon's office? Yeah, it's not the podcasting one. And I don't know. I love when they do Gordon's office. Throughout history, reading Batman, the fucking blinds and the mood and the like that sunset tone and that long day of work almost over by with Gordon. I don't know. That's just me being a little Batman-ish again, but he's phoning Bruce. And what is he warning him about? What is Bruce warning him?
He's just telling him how Pete Kavanaugh, the radio host, was murdered.
High profile killings. Okay.
And he may not be able to, he's probably not going to make it to the movie premiere that is going to happen that night.
Yeah.
And they have, this relationship. It's almost kind of like a uncle nephew type relationship. That kind of mirrors the Golden Age story, where everyone was like saw Gordon as kind of kissing up to Bruce Wayne for his money. But in reality, it's that, Gordon felt indebted to the Waynes.
Yeah.
And they talk about this more in this book. So he's kind of always looking out for Bruce. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe he knows that he's the Batman. Maybe he doesn't. But he's always kind of giving him tips about things that why he's not going to be around or what he's investigating and stuff like that.
And I think too, like the absence of Alfred kind of leans that responsibility more into the Gordon character and the development of that, right? Because that's kind of like what Alfred does in most of these stories and these movies, and Gordon kind of has that parental, like more uncle vibe in this story.
Yeah. Well, they get into the relationship with Gordon and Batman a little later on as well, which is really interesting in terms of Thomas Wayne. But he goes back into the old Golden Age shack. Look, it looks like an old garage filled with rusty tools and everything. Then you got that vault with that dial that reminds me of the Batman Returns vault when he opens it for that scene, and then shoots out the old Golden Age suit. Looks like he's back in the game. Fun little Easter egg. Looks like the Bat Wing copter right here. Blueprint for that. I don't know if that's Golden Age or not.
Looks like he's also got some photos of maybe Oswald Cobblepot.
Yes, yeah. That's what
somebody
that
looks
like.
else.
This looks like Ra's al Ghul a little.
Oh yeah.
Right. So yeah, that looks a little bit like Ra's, but that would be interesting for them to go deeper into that. So he's ready to fucking hit the town again.
He made a promise to Julie Madison that he would be at the premiere, but after
he did.
Gordon, he's like, I gotta check this out, but I will be there, Julie. I promise. I like the dialogue here with these cops on the next page. They're investigating the body of this Pete Kavanaugh that's been cut in half. And
look at that, man.
Yeah.
Look at that fucking brisket right there.
One of them, they don't seem too fond of Gordon.
They don't like Gordon?
No, they don't like Gordon. They're like,
maybe because he works at the Bat.
Who'd want to cut a news guy in two? His wife, maybe. And one guy says, too bad it wasn't Gordon or something like that.
Why did you say it's Gordon's car over here? Is that
Batman's swooping around. You can see in one panel where his cape's kind of up at the top while these cops are talking, and he's swinging around, and he notices Gordon's car is close to the murder site, but Gordon never made it to the investigation. That's what these cops were kind of talking about. They're like, "Where's Gordon? I called this in an hour ago, and he never showed up." And then Batman notices Gordon's car has been crashed.
Interesting. Kind of like trying to throw you off the trail.
Right.
So we're at the premiere. Nice little marquee. And then that's right. Over here you have the executioner, Whit Gordon.
Yeah.
And he's about to throw him. He's about first. He was getting. Oh, this Scarecrow makes them fire the spotlight on the billboard sign so they could all see Gordon get pretty much hung.
Yeah, they're
Looks like
trying
looks
to.
like Clark Gable.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he gives him a little shove. It's gonna be a bad day right here. Gordon's already hanging.
How does he not snap his neck?
Oof. And it's so tight that he can't even get his fingers out of the noose between his neck and the rope. Look at that fucking spot on Batman with the fucking knife right there. Look at that shit. That's trying to cut him out, save him. Whenever this guy draws Batman, he goes all out. Every panel almost looks like a poster, you know. That's what I like with these action scenes.
I'm pretty sure we said this in the last book too. It's like most of the time you don't even need words because these with the colors and the art, it's so descriptive that you can see through the expressions what's going on.
And this guy starts firing, laying down waste down the side of the building. Takes out. Then you got who's that? Lois Lane just decides to chuck a brick at the signal and hit it.
I mean, I was like, she's got to be quite an athlete to throw a brick that far and hit the spotlight at the same time.
That's before I knew she was Lois Lane, actually, and I thought, was she Supergirl? Maybe I don't know.
I was like, are they bringing Wonder Woman in?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like she had this superhero vibe. You know?
Or I was like, they haven't brought in Selena Kyle yet. So
big Gramps ready for the kitty. PSG. Cool scene. So that why did taking out the spotlight help? So you couldn't see who he was shooting, or I kind of didn't think about that the first go around.
She wants to interview Gordon or Batman, and she basically knocks out the spotlight to kind of blind the executioner while he's shooting down.
Batman gets up there for the executioner.
Yeah, and also the guy, and this is kind of a small little point, but the replacement radio host for the guy that was murdered, he's at this premiere, and he's broadcasting, at
play by play,
and he's like saying, a masked man with a Tommy gun. You see, is perched on a rooftop across the street. You see,
you got to say it like that. We got and he's flying off the rooftop, and we're out of here.
It's pandemonium.
Pandemonium, and he takes another swing at the Batman. We're gonna have a long fight tonight, folks. And a left and a right.
Right.
That was cool because remember back in the day around this time period, with like all the big boxing matches, everyone would gather around the radio and it would be a big event and it'd be, play by play, and it was very exciting.
Oh yeah, I mean they're very excited about this movie premiere because it was filmed in Gotham, and Julie Madison is the big starlet, and it's kind of a big deal that they're premiering it in Gotham and not in Hollywood. But he's given play-by-play throughout this whole sequence, and then the Batman, gets to the rooftop to face off against this executioner.
Now he stabs him pretty good, and this I got a kick out of. He says, "Gotcha" with the old Arkansas toothpick. So do you know what that is? Is that made up or is that like something real? Because
no, that's probably something real.
Is Arkansas toothpick like just getting stabbed?
No, that's a Probably he's referring to the little shiv knife.
Yeah, because I remember, because it makes me think of something like Colombian necktie, Arkansas
Right.
toothpick, like something to that extent. But he says that missed the kidney, but it'll drop soon. It's pretty nasty wound.
But when I was looking at this sequence here, I was like, where did he stab him? He didn't really draw in that part where he gets him. I mean, you see where Batman, at the top of the page, like dodges him. He says, "Dance all you want, I can still." And then Batman punches him, but you see he's got the knife stuck in his back right there. And I was like,
yeah,
okay,
well,
you didn't show me where you stabbed him.
You got to tune into the play-by-play. And
I
the right and the left, and he got a knife to the chest. That's the old Arkansas toothpick.
There's also a scene after he punches him where he looks startled, and I think that's the point where he gets thrown off and gets stabbed.
Yeah, a shiv is a shiv. You don't see that coming, a shiv. So
a shank. You got a shank.
so then you cut over to Madison and Lois Lane. I don't know. They just hopped in the car. And it was glowing green. This is when I thought, oh, wait, is this person a superhero? But somehow there was this, like a fear gas pellet in there. How the fuck did that get in there? Any theories on how
like Lois, through the chaos of the people trying to clear out of the area while they're being shot at, Lois grabs Julie Madison and says, "Hey, I've got a car. I can keep you safe." And Julie Madison's like, "How do I know that you're not one of those people trying to, hurt people?" And she's like, "I'm square as they come, Miss Madison." She says, "You're full of applesauce." The dialect that they use, I mean, they're really pulling from this era.
And the fear gas is kicking in, and boom, the car goes over the cliff.
Well, this is where she reveals that she's a reporter from Metropolis. And then
I guess you could say that this issue ended on a cliffhanger.
Wow. I love that one panel where Julie and Lois are in the car, and Julie's like, "You are in cahoots with those hatchet men," and she's like literally pulling Lois Lane's hair. You see that panel?
Oh yeah,
that's some. They were fighting. That's a pretty
Lois,
nice. Pretty nice
fear
artwork.
gas is making her see some men chasing them, shooting at him, and that's why she drives off the cliff. But
look at this fucking scarecrow, man! What a fucking demented fuck. Or is that the executioner? It might be the executioner. They both wear sacks over their faces, so who knows? Did you guys get these covers? A lot of the singles?
No, I just got the.
You just got the trade. You just waited for the buffet.
Yeah.
All right. We are in the crowd where people are getting gunned down, right?
Yeah, it starts off says 1 minute 48 seconds previous, so it kind of backs us up in the timeline. And people are running scared, and you got this one big guy dressed in kind of a dark jacket and a fedora going the opposite way of people trying to run away from the gun. He's going towards it. Who is this maniac?
Who is this guy?
If you see, there's this guy in this white shirt with his little black bow tie pushing ladies out of the way and all this stuff. And that happens to be, if you rewind back to book 1, that's the DJ that was given the play-by-play. So he pushed this woman down, and our mystery...
Is that the guy who says, "Get out of the way, you old bag," or something like that?
Yeah. He runs into this mystery person.
Great Depression was no joke, bro. Say right now, the fucking down.
He runs into our mystery guy who tags him and
we got this guy going into a phone booth, turns the light off, starts to change. Whoosh. Bats is getting fucked up over here.
Yeah, he's about to get decapitated. And then all of a sudden, a big whoosh comes and takes the axe out of this executioner's hand.
Mm.
And Bat takes the knife out of his back and throws it into the shoulder of the executioner.
Mm. Yeah, he's not doing too good. He's pretty rough over here. And then we cut back over to Julie Madison and Lois Lane driving off that cliff. I guess Lois falls out of the car. And then the car still continues to... Then
Yeah, she's been thrown out of the car. She's like midair, and Superman basically jumps off the cliff and catches her.
Catch it. Very cool how they give you the classic soup suit. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Classic Lois Lane outfit. Very cool. Then did that car go into the water? Cause
yeah,
yeah, right. So
yeah, because Julie Madison ends up being submersed in the water.
that's tough, man. That's not a fun place to be.
He went for Lewis first, obviously.
Yeah,
he's got favorites.
He's got to protect his investment, you know. So fucking, but he saves Julie Madison as well. All right. Oh, look at that face, man. That drowning face is not fun. I tell you, this artist definitely knows how to capture the expression of agony in these panels with this story.
Well, I mean, it looks like he's taken reference literally from old movies.
Yeah, definitely a horror element to it. I guess we cut back to their hideout, Scarecrow, whoever, where this is the demon that the executioner sees while on fear gas, right?
Yeah, the executioner, he escaped from Batman. He's got that knife stuck in his shoulder that Batman threw, and I guess Scarecrow hit him with some fear toxin to kind of numb him up so he could take the knife out and then sew him up.
He sure has a nice library, this Scarecrow. I tell you, an eclectic collection of books to read, right? Oh yeah.
He's got a few omnis in there, I'm sure. Yeah, this fear toxin gas is crazy, man. Like the shit that he's imagining that Scarecrow is, like, I was thinking to myself, man, this guy's definitely like a Satanist or devil worshiper, because the shit that is coming out of his mind is like out of this world, It's like,
I don't know if you remember the movie 8mm with Nicolas Cage and the killer for hire
with the snuff films or something like that. Right?
Yeah, and one of the killers, the hired killer, wore like a leather mask, whatever, and they called him Machine. It was like kill them all, Machine. That guy totally reminds me of Machine. But Scarecrow starts talking to him, tells him not to remove his mask because he wants to keep the element of, I guess, the unknown in terms of fear, not knowing who he is.
Yeah, he was just saying, like, keep your mask on. I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know your face. I just want to know what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we cut back to, I guess Scarecrow starts to get into, the deployment of mustard gas in World War I?
He starts talking about his motive.
Yeah.
And where he had been hired by the U.S. government during World War I to come up with a chemical warfare weapon. And, because they were using mustard gas. And what he came up with was so extreme that the government said, no, we can't do this. We can't use that.
That was really clever in terms of incorporating World War I and Scarecrow and Golden Age Batman. That was pretty clever. All similar to the way they had Victor von Fries have ties to Nazi Germany. I think Sean Murphy did that. It was just kind of clever way to connect those elements. But I have to, going back, man, these panels are done really well.
Yeah, very narrative.
The style of this, I feel like part of it's drawing and illustration, and part of it is some kind of photo transfer element their process. I'm curious about their process because it's a mixture of things, you know. So very cool. Shout out
It's
to the
very
colorist, man.
it's very believable, right? It's like, you know how like these
Feels like a
fictional
movie.
books,
Yeah,
yeah, like it feels like it could have really taken place.
yeah,
And I like the foreshadowing of how you see the expression in Scarecrow's face back to like where he was, in his military days. You know, they're kind of like foreshadowing, mirroring all this as the same face of insanity.
yeah,
Uh, because he wanted to get this by any cost. He wanted to have this technology revealed, because he believed in it, right? He felt like he had a higher purpose in
mm,
instilling fear against the enemy.
yeah. He became obsessed too with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's such a genius tie.
Mm. Cut back over to Great Depression, and then you got, is that the radio host, the
Paul,
interim?
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, he was like talking about it. He was like, I was there. I saw it
Mm.
all. And
Doc.
you see him, his little white shirt with his black tie. So he was the one that was being rude to the old lady, and Superman pushed him down out of the way.
Yeah.
And
You
and
got,
then and then he starts saying like he goes, I wasn't able to get home, and if I did get home, I wouldn't even be doing this TV show. He's like, I'd be at home hiding.
Right.
you got Gordon fighting for his life.
Yeah.
He's still in the
They
hospital.
cut over to the hospital. Gordon is in surgery.
Mm.
And Lois and Clark Kent come to the hospital. They want to talk to Gordon, who,
Mm.
mind you, has just gotten out of surgery.
Yeah. Yeah, because you had Clark Kent and Lois Lane there wanting to talk to Gordon, talking
And
about what happened last night.
there's two cops outside of Gordon's room, and they're like, "You don't need to come in here," you know.
I keep forgetting that Lois Lane doesn't know that Clark Kent is Superman right now. So
Right.
I had to remind myself of that.
And
Very
Clark,
cool.
he comes up with a good excuse. He's like, what Miss Lane means to say is that because she was almost killed last night too, she wants to make a statement to Gordon.
Yeah.
Did you
They're
guys
all
ever
in there.
watch the old Superman TV series, like black and white days?
No, I've never seen it. Mm.
Yeah, these
I
two look
remember,
like
yeah.
yeah, these two look like they're taking strong reference from Clark Kent from that TV show.
I like that because they're kind of, I don't want to say, I don't want to say modernizing it, but I don't know how else to put it. They're kind of making Golden Age bearable, if that makes sense, and
Yeah,
fun. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they're like colorizing this old
Yeah.
still
They're
format.
making it easier to digest and enjoy, because as opposed to the old stuff, which was very dense and
yeah.
uh,
I'm not.
wordy.
I don't really read Golden Age stuff. It's just
Mm,
it doesn't sit well with me as far as the characterizations and how they talk, and even some of the artwork. It doesn't. My eyes don't
mm.
gravitate towards it. It doesn't pull me in. But this is perfect. It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
Yeah,
this is a
digestible.
good take on it. And now that she's talking to Bruce, who's in the hospital as well, and then
Well, she
Gordon.
tells Gordon that Superman was there,
Hmm.
and they're like, "Superman? What?" And then a cop barges in and says, "They just got word that Bruce Wayne was also in the hospital as a patient because if you remember back on the rooftop, Bruce had been injured so bad that there was no way he knows there's no way he could make it off alive of that rooftop, and make it back home as
Hmm.
Batman. So he basically changed back to Bruce Wayne and made up a story that he had been injured in the whole situation.
Mm.
Street scuffle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he got mugged or something like that.
Got mugged.
And then lo and behold, the doctor that performed surgery and is in the room, who does he look like? Looks like Alfred to me.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Because he's
maybe
talking
Alfred
about
from-
how he had stitched him up, and
Yeah, that makes sense.
another inch and that knife would have gone through your kidney clean, and giving him all this.
Oh yeah, you're right. It does kind of resemble him.
He does.
That's some do right there.
Multiverse. This Bruce is very stale for me. Like there's something off about him most of the time, right? He's a really great Batman, but I feel like his personality, they really just they make him so lifeless in this series,
Kind of.
right?
But and yeah, they don't really. But the same thing goes for Superman as well. He was like kind of stiff. They're both a little stiff. But this was the interesting part of the story where Gordon goes into serving in World War One, and Thomas Wayne was the medic who saved his life. Talking about when they got mustard gassed, he would Wayne would take his mask off and put it on Gordon, and then while he was holding his breath to look for another dead soldier's gas mask and put that on to save him. He said it was very clever. So Thomas Wayne got Gordon through World War One, and after when they came home and then they got killed, I guess Gordon felt this guilt and this obligation to stay near, Bruce and watch over him to some extent. That was pretty clever as well. I mean, I guess you could. Well, obviously, this is. Oh man, I mean, technically, I guess it's kind of Elseworlds, right? It's Elseworlds, meaning it's in a different time. I don't know. That's just the thing, though, because you could say Elseworlds, but if Batman did, you think Batman Golden Age has been around that long, and if you wanted to have Thomas Wayne in World War One, then that could still work too, because Batman been around since the Golden Age. So
well, and also didn't Alfred wasn't always around in the Golden Age. He didn't show up until
later on. Yeah.
So that explains why we don't have an Alfred here.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really staying true to the blueprint.
I like how they continue to give Thomas Wayne a medical background as well, because he's known for being pretty much a doctor or a practicing medic. So that was pretty cool to see too.
It's you really feel the level of guilt that Gordon goes through, because he's saying, Thomas and I survived World War One, and this guy dies in my city under my, under my protection.
Wasn't Gordon ex-military in year one as well? Or yeah. So I guess it all makes sense.
Yeah.
This guy definitely did his research, right? Did a great job.
He gave it the due, is what the kids say these days.
A few pages earlier, Julie was at the bedside of Bruce Wayne, and as always happens, anytime a love interest gets involved with Bruce Wayne, he tells him who he is and his secret identity, and they want him to stop. They're so scared that he's going to get killed, and we're talking about you need to stop doing this. You're going to get yourself hurt, and someone is outside the door listening and is picking up on all these clues and hints. And, we see Superman or Clark Kent using his super hearing to listen in to Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, that was cool.
Being the nosy reporter that he always is.
Then we cut over to, I guess, the cat house. And business is slow because everyone's scared to come out and pay for a little tail. So, and yeah, this guy resembles the Penguin so much that it's pretty evident that he's, a nod to the Penguin.
So Maxie's got the idea that, he needs to go out and, put an end to all this killing and kind of help find out who's doing this. And what they do, that he also meets up with the rabbi down at the police station.
Is that where they are over here, or is that a synagogue? You see that?
That looks like the police station to me.
Is that the police station? Okay.
Yeah.
So they're all
a lot of people have yeah, a lot of people are so concerned that they're like, making complaints and going down to the police station to try to, put a little heat on the police to do their job and find out who's doing these killings. They don't understand that it's two people. And they're still also upset about the recent event at the movie premiere too, And,
Yeah. And of course, the executioner decides to show up at the police station. Pretty ballsy of him. I admit.
Back at Wayne Manor, Bruce is talking with Julie, and he's putting together the pieces of who, he talked about, his father was a medic in World War One, and the effects of the chemical warfare, the mustard gas, and how he considered that form of art to be inhumane, something that should be banned. They're also talking a little bit about Superman, and she said that bullets bounce off of him and he can fly. And Bruce says, flying is impossible. He must jump. So that's kind of a reference to the Golden Age Superman, because correct me if I'm wrong, but he would just really jump really far in the old comics, and even in that old TV show, it'd show him kind of bounce down and jump super far. I guess he would fly, but I mean, he was basically spring into action.
I thought it was really cool that they have this little detail about he talks about that maybe he's just like an illusionist, and then Bruce is talking about how him and Houdini were friends, and Houdini disclosed a lot of his secrets to him, and it's quite possible that Clark Kent's doing the same thing, by just giving off the illusion that he's larger than life.
Yeah. But even his father had some notes that mention an army research facility outside of Gotham, and the lead scientist was vocal in wanting to continue this research into using gas and chemical warfare. He comes up with a name of Crane.
Yeah, man, look at this. This is the cream of the crop. This is the original 1939 Batmobile. That's the first Batmobile to the T, color and everything, and look just the way he hops over. It's so cool. Such a great nod to Golden Age. Really cool.
He's going into the military facility.
Yeah.
Whether he mentioned something about it's either abandoned or low. There's not much security there, so he's hopping that fence to go in to investigate.
Yeah, and Lois and Clark are already there.
Yeah, funny how that happens.
And then we cut back to I guess the precinct where these gas bombs, these little gas pellets are being dropped everywhere. Fear gas. Very cool shot of the Scarecrow right there, actually.
Yeah.
Really good shot of him.
Yeah, it's very cinematic.
Yeah, I like the green. The good use of green in this thing. Cut back to the military facility. He breaks into the lab and he noticed that it's still operational. Dun dun dun. Shout out to them for keeping the purple gloves as well. Very cool, I gotta have the purple gloves. You can do Golden Age. And he's about to take out the soldier. We cut back to the precinct. The people are attacking each other.
Yeah, we got two conflicts going on at the same time. We've got Scarecrow and Executioner that are attacking the police station and trying to, stir up more chaos, trying to get people to kill each other and go against each other. You got Max choking out the rabbi. And then over at the facility, you got Batman sneaking around, taking out army soldiers with his bare hands and throwing guns in their faces. And
yeah,
it's funny that the rabbi refers to Maxi as his Jewish name, And he, because he's speaking into his fear, and Maxie quickly corrects him and says, "That's not my name. I'm Maxie." So it kind of speaks to the time and what's going on with maybe some anti-Semitic things that are happening in
Yeah.
Gotham, right? So he's, his biggest fear is kind of hiding that part of him because he doesn't want to get killed or ridiculed.
He doesn't want people to know.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
So there's that little nod to like what's happening from a social aspect as well, saying, the rabbi obviously is very clear of who he is, but Maxie wants to hide that part of him. And
Oh,
I
yeah,
think they may have spoken about that in the first series as well, but now it's fully like exposed because of his exposure to the toxin.
He's definitely saying, "My name is Ralph Lauren, not Ralph Lipschitz."
Yeah. So I found that really interesting because, to the prelude of what's happening all across the world with Nazis and, all these invasions.
So the soldiers get a one-up on Batman. And what was the thing before, the Arkansas toothpick?
Yeah.
And now this soldier saying, I say we fit him for a Chicago overcoat. So are they just making shit up at this point, or are these real fucking Chicago overcoat and the Arkansas toothpick?
You have to ask Trunks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, bloke. I know what a Chicago brown eye is, bloke.
And then, Clark has snuck away and changed into Superman and basically talks the soldier down from killing Batman.
Right.
Yeah, because they think he's a spy. He's trying to convince them that he's a spy.
Right.
And
that's actually a pretty sick page of Superman compared to like how he was depicted earlier.
I know it sounds crazy, but I see a little piece of Tim Sale in that Superman for some reason. I don't know, like a detailed version. I'll have to find the reference so it makes sense, but I see a little. I don't know. But then we cut back to the precinct, and you guys remember the old Dunkin' Donut commercials with the guy that's like, "Time to make the donuts."
Yeah.
Well, he's back with vengeance, baby. That's definitely him right there. It's like a pissed off cop.
That's Detective Donut right there.
Detective Donut.
Who took my donuts?
And man, they're really going nuts again. Just, hey, what the fuck is going on? Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, so there's some cool. Oh, this is really a big throwback when the bullets are bouncing off of Superman. That definitely has that golden age feel to it. When it's like, it's like bing, 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 and then just bounce them off. So that's that throwback. And he's getting pissed. And then there's a soldier that was like point blank in front of Superman who just lets off with an automatic rifle. That'll piss anybody off.
And these guys, I mean, at this point, Superman is still kind of a myth to these guys.
Yeah.
Because that one soldier even said, "This has to be some kind of trick or bad ammo," because he can't believe someone is bulletproof like Superman.
Yeah.
And then we have our first meeting of
with bats and
world's
suits.
finest. Yeah.
And you got Stan Lee over here with a fucking gun as well. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Excelsior.
Excelsior, motherfucker. We got Soups here. So he's like, you're the one in the newspapers, the one they call the Batman. Very cool.
Yeah, they're not friends. And
they're exchanging theories about what's going on. And then Batman's pretty clever here because he knows about his superpowers, the iron skin, the strength of 10. And then he, what does he do to release that loud sound wave to see if his ears are
extraordinary sight and hearing, and he basically drops some kind of
Yeah.
high-pitched
High
frequency
pitch.
Mm.
because he knows that Superman's guard's down and that he wouldn't suspect,
Yeah.
have this high-pitched frequency thing that human ears can't hear, but someone with extra sensitive hearing could.
Mm.
And Superman, down and dirty, hits Batman in his spot where he's been stabbed.
What do you think of that cape right there? It's a nice cape, huh? Look at that.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. I love that, man. That could be a variant cover right there. So we're still at the military facility.
Yeah, Batman's retreating and getting out and back to the Batmobile and takes off while Superman is still kind of, dazed from the high frequency.
Now, the second time coming, I don't know if it's just me. Does that kind of look like, you know who? The big guy. Big old Adolf for a second.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
With that face. And, no, this is cool when
that could be someone's maybe depiction of fear, right? Maybe that they're
Yeah.
hallucinating and thinking that they're seeing him.
Absolutely, they're seeing Adolf Hitler. Even though I think they don't realize what a symbol of evil he is yet, but the way they, I guess, foreshadow it's, I don't know, kind of cool. But I love fucking
This
Gordon.
is sick.
This is so sick. Gordon I love it. All right, we all have to give the man a lot of credit for standards, because this man puts on a World War I gas mask with 2 pistols and still has the time to put the fedora back on his head. You got to give him credit.
Well, you know who that looks like? That looks like the original Sandman
Oh yeah,
from that time. I mean, even down to the guns.
look at that. That's so cool, man. And Gordon's not playing either. He's like,
They should make a figure of that.
yeah, that's a fig, right, Gramps?
Who wouldn't want that, right?
Yeah.
World War I Gordon, the soft goods.
There you go.
Some people seeing these manifestations of fear and war right there, monsters.
Yeah, they see Gordon and the police as Nazis.
Yeah.
And horrific monster Nazis. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some serious shit going on in this. You're really touching up on serious. Oh, it's also a Christmas story, by the way. Just for that. So I guess did they retreat? Yeah, I guess Sandman and fucking Executioner get the hell out of there.
Yeah, they retreated, and even the Executioner was like, Gordon's gas mask makes him immune, and he says probably a war souvenir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then we cut to the Christmas.
Well, I mean, they've got a plan, and Scarecrow even says we've made our point with the real fireworks yet to come.
Yeah.
So now they have this Christmas celebration planned, and the mayor has promised that everyone will be safe, for the celebration, and Gordon is under a lot of pressure to make sure that they find these murderers.
Mm. Gordon's like, fuck, we also got the Knicks parade. You got Julie Madison and Bruce, and Bruce just ain't stopping. And I guess Julie Madison is getting really concerned about him. The prospects of Bruce getting himself killed, pretty much.
Well, I mean, pretty much like, the last book that we reviewed, Dark Patterns. People, you need to go listen to our previous review of Dark Patterns, part 1 and 2. But this Bruce, I mean, he takes his lumps. I mean, he is not a perfect Batman by any means. I mean, he gets injured a lot.
He fights,
and they show it.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He even doesn't have an Alfred that can be there to take care of him. So she's really concerned, not not only does she love him, but she knows that this guy's got a lot of money. She's not wanting to risk that.
Yeah. Plus, also you got Lois and Clark show up, and Julie Madison's under the impression that they just want to score some kind of expose on the Hollywood star or something like that.
Yeah, they were mentioning that Clark mentioned that Bruce has a red car, much like the red car that they saw Batman driving away.
Oh yeah,
And you
yeah.
could see Superman there using his X-ray vision to kind of snoop around a little bit in
Yeah.
the library. And he sees
Snooper Man.
Yeah, he sees that top secret file that Bruce had of his father's medical records.
That's pretty clever. I like that.
Bruce isn't really a welcoming host, and
hit the bricks.
Hit the bricks.
Hit the bricks
with your Chicago overcoat and your Arkansas toothpick.
Yeah,
but looks like Julie Madison is giving Bruce one last chance. Yes, like this is the last time she's gonna let him out. Like that.
Well, yeah, he's making all these, promises that once this is over, I'll stop being Batman. I just need to do this one last thing.
Yeah.
Give me till tomorrow, please.
When I read that, I was like, man, how many times have we heard this before?
Yep.
Yeah. Who are you to give Batman an ultimatum?
Yeah. And Scarecrow and the Executioner are planning something out. And then we have this super random visit to the rabbi again, which makes
he looks like he's throwing up the Brunson sign underneath.
Yeah, he just needs to lower it a little. I'm telling you, Nixon 5, he said. The Brunson. And so he stops in to talk to the rabbi about what? What did he talk about? I just never understood this part in both.
It's kind of like he's kind of almost like he's his therapist in a way.
Yeah, like this some kind of some like moral advisor.
In a way, yeah. I mean, they're talking about how people for the most part can be good, but this gas can bring out their fears and their underlying malevolence, and the rabbi says basically you can't make a difference, and Batman says I won't accept that. And
I think the rabbi just gives him more of a sense of humanity, right? And he starts to really question his future. And it's kind of funny when he shows up, he kind of goes out of his way to be like, hey, I was polite. I came through to not scare your wife.
And then we enter Batman Returns with all the snow. I like how the red Batmobile pulls up in the beginning. Look at that pretty thing. Who's over there? Is Lois Lane and Julie Madison are there, right? At the tree lighting ceremony.
Yeah, I think Lois is basically trying to be a friend, or kind of make her feel like, hey, I'm not always just trying to get a story out of you.
Yeah.
So trying to basically offer an apology in a way.
Then we got the world's finest conversating about.
Yeah, they meet up, and Superman knows that Bruce is Batman, and vice versa.
And he pretty much tells Soups that he has to go. They have to split up, and he has to go to the tree lighting ceremony because if shit hits the fan, a lot of people could die. So Soups could probably handle that situation.
Right. He's basically showing that this is my turf, and kind of know it a little bit better than you, and this is how it's going to be. I'm Batman's, more the tactician, and Superman's the muscle.
The muscle.
Even in this world, in this story.
How sick is this mask on Batman? Would you buy this fig?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. I love it. I love it. Look at that. I love it. Look how fucking sick that is.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
By this point, Batman knows that Crane is the one behind all the gas and has tracked him down.
Yeah.
And here's him. See, Crane's ultimate goal is to prove how dangerous his fear toxin can be, and then to sell it to the Nazis.
Yeah.
So he's communicating with the German Nazis.
He even starts speaking German.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not knowing that they probably wouldn't even buy it from him. They just take it from him and kill him. But, Batman finds him and, calls him out for being a traitor.
Yeah. Oh, shit. This is pretty sick. Hold on. Look at this panel. This is one of the panels. Look at that fucking panel, man. That's sick. They're like two demons. They look like two demons.
Yeah, he pulls out a gun and shoots Batman's oxygen mask. And when he pulls off the mask, then he's prone to fear toxin. That's
yeah,
it's a crazy panel.
Yeah,
that panel's nuts.
Kind of has like a Kelly Jones feeling to it, right? The way that how he's just showing his expressions with his eyes and just the utmost fear.
Yeah, for the spooktacular. Back at the tree lighting ceremony where shit's about to hit the fan.
Yeah, during all that, Crane tells Batman that the Hood has orders, and he's quite eager to kill and terrorize Gotham. And while he's going to do that, Crane's going to try to kill Batman. And
so this part I thought was fucking hilarious. So this is so funny. Superman confronts the executioner, and pretty much Scarecrow set the executioner up because he loaded it with explosives. I guess gas too, but explosive. Because he's like, I hear bullets bounce right off here. But the crow's gas will get you though. And then he goes, gas? Don't. That is. It's so funny.
boom.
I just thought that was hysterical. Where the guy's like, wait, that's not fucking gas. And he set him up to blow himself up.
Yep.
I don't know why I got a kick out of that, but it was just so funny. The boom. Asshole.
Yeah.
Sometimes the trash takes itself out.
Ask those raccoons of yours, if that's true.
Yeah.
That you hate.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear, talking about fears.
Raccoon. So Batman's still fighting Scarecrow, who looks like the devil to him because of the fear toxin.
Sick.
That panel where right here where it's right in the back of the Scarecrow is pretty sick. Yeah, that's cool. Like you have the devil and then you have the Scarecrow, right? Or a demon.
And Batman's kind of figuring out, even though he's under the effects of the toxin, he knows that it's just a gas that is making him hallucinate. But he realizes that Scarecrow is immune to the gas.
Yeah, he's like a vaccine.
Just is like, of course, it's my creation. Of course, I'm immune.
Yeah.
And then he's beating him with his hammer. Superman, and now back at the tree ceremony, Superman realizes that the Christmas tree is actually a bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Another bomb.
Yeah, then it detonates and
he basically picks it up and jumps to take it away from the crowd.
Yeah. He cut back. Scarecrow's really swinging that hammer at bats. It's so funny how out of nowhere he's like, he realizes that there's an antidote for it or some kind of immunity. Like
it was
just
so
sitting
random.
right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
just so random, just sitting right there. Here, take a swig. Chucks it like Maker's Mark. And then then he's all good to go. And then he does the fucking Ryu uppercut to fucking Scarecrow. Bam.
It hits it with the finisher.
Yeah.
And he's got those brass knuckles on.
Oh yeah, he does. That's gonna hurt. Oof. Yeah, he's
to leave a mark.
Yeah, he just starts beating the shit out of him. That's pretty much that's that for the Scarecrow. It's
pretty cool how they have his face exposed like that.
Fucking sack of shit he is, right? In a sack. They go back to Batman. He's still checking that wound, I guess, where he got stabbed.
Oh, shit. Kidneys. To me, that one scene was very noir, right? He wins the day with the big uppercut, and that's it. That's all it took.
Then him and Batman are talking again, and I guess Batman poses the question about, can't you stop this war if it starts, right? And then Superman kind of breaks down how it could play out, but ultimately it's kind of up to humans to
he also
put a cork in it.
To, this version of Superman, he's not like just this almighty, godlike person.
Yeah.
He doesn't have, he doesn't really fly. He leaps. He can be bulletproof, but only to a certain extent. So he talks about how, some of the guns could really actually hurt him.
Yeah.
He could do some things to help, but I don't think he realizes he couldn't stop the war all by himself. But what did he say? He said something there that it's painful, but sometimes the only way to change the minds of men who want war is for them to pay a steep price themselves. Yeah.
That's pretty good. And going back, we visit Max back at the cat house. I think Batman was going to shut him down, but then he thinks it's better that he keeps him open to get information. Plus, he thinks he treats the girls pretty well, so he kind of finds a silver lining for leaving that place operational.
And he's kind of accepted. He goes, if you leave, then someone
else is gonna,
someone worse than you is gonna show up. And
well, that's kind of what he said to him in the first book too. Like, you're gonna keep working for me.
We go
Don't
back
cross
to
this line.
Yeah, you don't know where the line is to cross. Back at Wayne Manor, pretty much the tool shed of Wayne Manor. Julie Madison's there, and Bruce to get reacquainted.
And he tells her, "I'm done."
Done.
You kind of have this big scene before where he's closing the vault of the cow, the suit, and that kind of foreshadows what's going to happen, right? Supposedly, what's going to happen. That he's closing a chapter in his life.
It's funny how it's like this is all wrapping up as if something like there was a big climax where all that happened was he took a shot of an elixir and just uppercutted Scarecrow. That's what it's like. They make the ending feel like there was this big battle to the death kind of thing. Well, I mean, they were going at it for a while, I suppose. Just how it ended. But Bruce gives Julie Madison a snack for her trip, but he knew she would open it in the car before she got to the plane, and turns out to be an engagement ring. So Bruce Wayne and Julie Madison are engaged. It's very interesting. Good for you, Bruce, you butlerless asshole. And it's all over the papers. Police arrest mass killers, and their engagement, right, is all over the place.
And she allowed Lois Lane to break the story.
Pick
that up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So there we have it.
Yeah.
Batman the Second Night.
Second night.
You know, it'd be cool if they did a third night.
It would be cool. We haven't even seen Joker or Catwoman yet.
So, what'd you guys think?
What are we rating this on?
Good question. 5?
Out of 5 Bucky's beaver nuggets that the British people over here are losing their minds over.
Out of 5. Brisket over mac and cheese. I could go for. Oh, fun. Oh, check this out real quick. Legends of the Dark Knight. Cool little Batmobile. All right. Tease us. Out of 5, what'd you think?
I feel like I'm gonna go high 3s to a 4. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I felt like I really love the fact that Superman and Lois Lane were involved in this. Like again, I read this straight digitally before, and so I didn't really look at the covers that I had, but I feel like that was a great setup, and it really locked in my interest in the whole story. The art, I mean, I feel like this art was so understated that, like, why did DC not really promote this or talk about this? This art is so unique and so consistent throughout every issue. I don't think there's a bad page, right?
Yeah.
So I think for art, this is definitely a 10 out of 10. But story-wise, I love that they focus on the Scarecrow. I felt like it was really historically how they connected it, to me, felt really believable. And like you guys said before, like integrating Thomas Wayne in this early stage of Batman's life, outside of him always being spoken about the death scene in Crime Alley, I think was really cool. So I'm leaning more towards like a 4 overall. I'll probably read this in a few years. I don't think it's something you want to jump in every year, but for the art, like you said, I feel like it leans to so much more opportunity to bring in a lot more rogues. I mean, shit, if they did another one, they can easily throw in the Penguin, right? There's so many teases.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Jeez, believe us.
Just someone like the Penguin or the Joker. I'd love to see the Joker in this universe.
Me too. Hell yeah.
Be really good.
Like a mobster style Joker.
Yeah, and this guy's not afraid to like kill people and use violence and curse, and in the same way he's very like disciplined and like cordial, and he uses the language of the time, but then all of a sudden he starts throwing in F-bombs and shit, and then he throws in this huge horror element, which is really interesting. So he's really balancing both playbooks together, and it makes it unique and really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope they continue it. Hopefully, Bruce comes to terms with really who he is, and he just continues on with his role as Batman.
All right, Gramps. Out of 5 Chicago overcoats, 5 Arkansas fucking toothpicks.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. I want to see more of this. I hope we get a third night and a fourth night.
Yeah.
The art, Mike Perkins is killing it with the artwork. I mean, there's some of these splash pages and panels where, it's some of the coolest stuff that I've seen in a long time. We talked about how, this is reviving the golden age era of Batman with a modern twist, and it kind of makes me want to look back at some of the golden age stuff, but I'm not. You know, I think I have a trade with the first 20 issues of Batman. I've tried to read it, but it just didn't grab me. But this is a new offering that makes me really want to be invested in this historical fiction. Um, yeah, I mean, I give it a strong 3. Um, and that's a great score because that means that I definitely want to read it again and come back to it even more, especially if they put out a third night, because whenever they come out with a new, trade or more stories, I always go back and read the one before it again, just to kind of catch up and then go into the new one. Um, it's kind of crazy how, I mean, here we are at this time, we're getting Golden Age Batman, we're getting Dark Patterns Batman, which is kind of a
Dark
love
Path.
letter to animated series and Legends of the Dark Knight and everything.
Do.
And then we got Absolute Batman, which is its own thing that is just taking over. Batman's in a good place right now, so I hope we get more of this because it's kind of a niche audience. There's that's what's cool about Batman is that there's an audience for all these different types of Batman, and this one serves its place for this audience. They may not like Absolute Batman. They may not like, main canon storyline Batman. They may like Golden Era Batman, and it, it serves that audience great, and vice versa. So I think it's great. And
I think what we were saying too in the previous reviews that there's 2 speeds. Like anyone that has not read Batman could legitimately just jump into this and enjoy it and not really have to know too much about it.
yeah,
Or now you have these other opportunities to start connecting dots to homages and other stories and what did they take from certain pieces to revamp and retell in the storytelling. So whether you're a fan of Batman for the past 30 years or you just picked up your first book, anyone could read this, and that's what really makes this digestible, right?
100%.
Mm.
All right, Bat Force Times, what you got?
Yeah, I can give it a 3.5 out of 5.
That's good.
It's a pretty good rating. I think the story could be stronger. It wasn't a complicated story, but but the artwork was very good. It's a blend of different artworks. The illustration, it looks like photo transfers. It's very cinematic.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. Artwork's really good. And the way they draw Batman, whenever they draw Batman in action, it's really good. It looks like posters and shit. Cinematic. They found a way to make Golden Age Batman digestible visually and um as far as the writing, it's not overwritten, it's not dense. It's just right because Golden Age stuff is very dense. What the cool thing about Golden Age is that you can see where everything came from in the history. That's what I always thought was very cool and interesting. Like I like this character. This character was around there in 1939. I think that was 4 years after Prohibition. That's crazy. So it's always cool to think about that. It's cool to think about bringing Golden Age into the modern era, and that's what they've done successfully. I hope they
Mm-hmm.
do more. I really hope they do more. I don't know, I really want this to keep going. I guess we should probably push for this as well as Dark Patterns soon through the Bad Force. But yeah, I think the story could have been a little stronger. I think their voices could be a little stronger. Batman could have a little more personality, maybe. But I will give. You know what? I have to admit though, the kills are crazy in this story. Like the
Definitely
kills are
so.
nuts. Like these are some of the craziest murders that I could think of in Batman lore, especially that Bell kill. They don't even have to show it to me. The Bell kill and the guy that gets, cut in half with the cinder block or whatever, that piece of wood from the truck. And there was another kill. Was there a third kill? I don't remember. But yeah, horror elements to it. Bringing in, I think I'm gonna bump it to a 3.75 because the way they connected Jonathan Crane to mustard gas in World War One was really interesting.
Yeah, it's like a really dope origin story.
And the
Without
fact that
going
they
too
kept,
nuts.
yeah, they didn't go too nuts, and the fact that they also kept Thomas Wayne's medical lore intact was pretty good as well. So they definitely get a lot of points for that. I think it's
They added some nice dry rub. That's what you're saying.
yeah. I mean, they got to give it the due. So yeah, I'm very pleased. I think this would really go well if you read first and second night back to back. Would go really well. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
You can kind of see, the pattern a little bit. Each one of these books is 3 stories, and they do a lot within 3 stories. And I know that sometimes the storytelling can suffer a little bit when they kind of have to wrap it up real quick at the end. But I mean, we got a lot within these three books.
Mm-hmm.
We got the first meeting of Batman and Superman.
Mm-hmm.
We got Lois Lane. We got introduction of Jonathan Crane and this hood executioner guy. We got Gordon's, I wouldn't say his origin story, but his background being military and his relationship with the Waynes and really his relationship with Bruce. We got a lot within these 3 books.
That's true. They crammed it in.
And we got a Christmas story too. So there you go.
We got a Batman Returns nod with the tree lighting, and the I don't know if it was intentional, but the humor part where the guy thinks he's, detonating fucking fear gas when it's actually explosives, and then Superman's like, gas. Wait, that's not. And then boom.
No.
Like the way Crane set him up, I think is just really fucking funny, man. I don't even think it's supposed to be funny, but I just got such a kick out of it, and the old language too. Yeah, it was good. I think everything was really good. I think the story could just been a little tighter, more interesting. I don't know. It was too. I think if you added some kind of mystery element, it would be like a little bit of a whodunit.
Right.
It would be kind of cool. Like I thought they were gonna reveal the executioner as some, interesting character, but that never happened. So
Yeah, they really built him up to be kind of nobody, right? Like he had all these. He didn't really have a strong motive in the beginning. He was just sadistically killing people.
Yeah, there's nothing behind them. Yeah.
He's just a pawn to Scarecrow.
So, but yeah, damn good one.
Great. Another
Hell
banger.
yeah. Another banger.
banger.
Hell yeah.
It was good.
Well, that's been our review of the Batman Second Night. We appreciate all of our listeners tuning in. Please hit the subscribe. That really helps us grow the show. And thank you very much. That's Bat Force Radio. Till next time.
Believe.
Till next time.
Next in 5.